Hello, the House of Tarot YouTube listeners and followers. Welcome to today's reading. Today we're doing a blind reading with a message that the universe is nudging you towards. I feel like you're possibly seeing signs for this message. You're seeing the things around you. And we're going to go ahead and get that from our past life deck to see if your past self, your future self, your higher self has an inkling of a message. We're going to move on to our tarot, get a final message, as well as do some numerology with our dice. We're going to go ahead and get started. So a message that the universe, your higher self, just a message in general. I'm not really feeling that card. I was going to take one out. I'm going to let the card that wants to come forth come out on its own. I'm not going to pick one, so I'm just going to let it kind of happen. Ooh, okay. I think it's going to be this one. So for our first card, we have authority figures. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some tarot cards to kind of see where this is leading. Something of authority, something ethical. I'm also hearing something that's been done possibly to you, wanting to take things or matters into your own hands and being careful with that kind of mindset. We have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is being very playful at times, being very playful with your finances, with ideas that could bring some sort of abundance. Also using authority figures to help you if some of you need protection while you're inspired by this. If some of you need protection for your I'm seeing like small children involved. So using authority figures to kind of line up some form of protection, even for yourself, using possibly if you're an authority figure to someone younger than you, also knowing that you have more power over somebody. So you using that power to do well for others, to do well. So if you're in a setting where you're the adult or you're the elder in the setting, using that to better the environment, knowing that you're responsible for the betterment of that environment. I'm not sure who needs this message, but if you find yourself fighting with somebody that's more vulnerable than you, younger than you, smaller than you, weaker than you, knowing that you have the tools to better that environment and doing right for that environment as a whole, helping the environment, helping the issues at hand, kind of doing the work, even you seeing this sign within yourself, doing the work of what you can do to better that environment, because you're possibly have more years on you, so you can read more books, or you're more advanced than somebody. So using that authority to better some sort of environment where smaller either children are involved or people that are more vulnerable are involved. So thinking of that. Also, if you had to kind of get involved with something or involve somebody of authority, we're going to go ahead and go with your recent past. So I see you coming from a voyage. And I also see a small child. So you're possibly coming from a voyage where you came alone with somebody under your care, or you're caring for somebody as well. So this is the Six of Swords. I also see doing right for somebody else, doing right for somebody as a whole in your environment. So if this is in your household and you have smaller beings around you or somebody that's more vulnerable than you, doing right to protect them and finding the right path for them, using the right path, using your judgment of the right path, using also your mental skills, your authority skills to better navigate this path. So I'm seeing a lot of navigation having happened and coming forth. We're going to go ahead and go with your subconscious. What's in your subconscious that wants to come out? Ooh, we have the King of Pentacles. So somebody or something of authority, also in the world of money with our pentacles, something very abundant as well. Also, I feel like what's on your mind is making money. And I feel like something very positive is going to come of that, because you get to offer protection. You get to offer some sort of protection, some sort of abundance to somebody smaller than you or somebody more vulnerable than you. So being in the mindset of making money, creating money, using your wealth. So the King of Pentacles is very much on top of his wealth, very much on top of things financially. So getting involved with your financials, getting involved with books that can better your environment around money or better your scope around money. I'm also seeing this class. I'm not sure it's because There's classes circulating on my feed right now, but I'm seeing a class that possibly has something for you within that you're going to be a lot better grounded with money. So this person is a lot more grounded, and this is possibly within your subconscious, a message coming towards you of an authority figure. So it's possibly your higher self that's wanting to speak to you, where you're the one of authority, that you're the one that has the control. You're the one that can make moves within your monies. We're going to go ahead and go with your near future card. Ooh, okay. We have something going to keep you up at night. This is the 9 of Swords. So something keeping you up at night, something worrying you, something that you need to set in place, set in motion. So something that possibly won't sit right with you, won't sit right even within your household, or arguing with somebody, also within your mind, just something that has to be done, something that has to be set up. So being careful with that type of energy, being careful with staying up too late as well is also what I'm hearing. Being careful with allowing this to take over where your health is at risk, or where you're consuming too much caffeine the next day, or consuming too much cortisol's running through your body is also what I'm hearing. So making sure you're setting yourself up for a good night's sleep, making sure you write things down, making sure you're turning off electronics, possibly an hour before, whatever time is comfortable for you, to get into this night mode. Also, those around you can be affected by this. So I'm really getting the message for that. We're going to go ahead and go with your environment. Something, ooh. Okay, I'm going to go with this one that just stood up. So your environment card, I took it early. We're supposed to go with the your environment is about building wealth right now. A lot of building, a lot of work being put in, and your wealth building, and your what's tangible around you, what you're selling, just even hobbies that you're doing that could make you money. I feel like you're going to start perfecting them. So some sort of craft that you're into, or some sort of thing that you work with your hands. I'm seeing workings with the hands, workings with tools, workings with things that you're trying to perfect in order to create abundance. And I'm seeing this really being a very lucrative time in your life, where you're in this creation mode. So again, I keep heading back to this 9 of Swords, is really setting yourself up to be able to be in this creation mode, setting yourself up with the right foods, the right sleep schedule, the right nutrients, all the right things around you, so you can be in this creative mode, this inspired mode, this working mode, this mode where you're healthy as well, where you're not dealing with health problems or vitamin deficiencies, just things like that. So really being careful with all that as a whole. I'm going to go ahead with your U placement. Ooh, the Empress. So she's very fertile. Being careful also if you're not trying to have children, this is a very fertile time, and that's also with your creative energy. So we're going into this creative mode from being really good to ourselves, from catching on to this near future card before it happens, kind of setting ourselves up for success, setting ourselves up. Even I'm seeing like meal preps and having everything laid out for you to where you're kind of set up for success during this hard time of having to relocate for some of you, having to change directions, of taking on some sort of responsibility as well. I'm seeing a very fertile time, so being careful if you're not trying to have children. This is also a birthing time, so something you're trying to birth. Again, I'm seeing ideas as well, ideas, prospects. I also see people. I don't know if people are coming into your life that you're attracting something with all this like femininity, feminine energy, creative flow. So I'm seeing a lot of flow coming for you. Our top row was kind of a little bit more serious, where we're headed and having to take care of somebody that you possibly weren't planning to take care of, or you didn't think it was going to be this serious. But I'm also seeing kind of whoever this small being is, or this could even be a puppy or a cat or something, guys. So really take this for what resonates with you. But whatever this is also creates a lot of creative energy within you, a lot of fertility, a lot of mother energy, this really beautiful time in your life where you can have a lot of ideas. So being ready for that. I'm seeing you carry a notebook, jot down ideas and act on them as well. The power of acting on them cannot be mistaken. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go with your hopes and fears, and also an outcome placement. So we're going to go ahead and take this card for your hopes and fears, and something for your, an outcome. So a lot of the 5 of Wands is about a lot of arguing. So a lot of conflict, a lot of change, a lot of arguing at the end. But I also feel this with growth. I feel like this arguing is kind of like a muscle being ripped and expanded. So something possibly going to expand at some point. I feel like your fears are just people getting involved as well. Just too many opinions, too many cooks in the kitchen is also what I'm hearing. Too many things coming forth, that I feel like they're unnecessary figures, unnecessary people coming in. So really being careful of who you involve, how much you involve people, being careful with all aspects of the situation. We're going to go ahead and take a card for, we have risk. Learn to grow wherever you are planted. And I like risk with the grow. I feel like taking risk is how we grow, and also being planted. I'm seeing also this other aspect of it is just allowing yourself to be at times, allowing yourself to be nourished, to be well watered, to be planted. Kind of the theory of a seed doesn't work real hard, it's just nourished and it just grows into this beautiful thing, this beautiful plant or flower or vegetable or fruit or anything. So really allowing yourself to receive. Also with our Empress, we're going to go ahead and take some dice to get some numbers, and I'm going to read these numbers intuitively, just how I feel. If I feel like adding them or reading them left to right, right to left, I'm just going to do what's intuitive to me. Okay, we have 465. So I wanted to read it top to bottom, and that's what we did. 465 on our numbers book. For 465, we have personal wisdom. Be a role model for vulnerability. And again, I did have this role model vibe within your reading. So let's see what it says. You are being asked to model transformation. Be vulnerable with your emotions and thoughts with others who need to feel safe doing the same. Be proud of what you've accomplished in your spiritual awakening. Share your personal wisdom with somebody who may need it today. Okay, that's pretty quite fitting for our reading today. So with that, my dear listeners, please just take what resonates and leave the rest. I do offer readings at thehouseoftarot.etsy.com. I also offer manifestation spells and pendulum readings for $1, as well as I have phase 1 or part A of my pendulum collection now available for sale, and those are $15 on my Etsy shop. So come visit me there. And with that, I leave you guys. Bye-bye.